Hello. This episode of the Verbal Journal is with my, also, not the desk again. I might be in the desk next time. Might not be. What are you going to do about it? Anyway, this episode of the Verbal Journal is with my father, Mr. Dan Garabedian. One thing that him and my grandmother have in common is they were both pretty reluctant to be on the Verbal Journal. But, welcomed me with open arms. It was really interesting when I was thinking about just like family members that I could possibly interview. My dad didn't fall under the category of someone who'd be super stoked to do it by any means, and he wasn't. He kind of reluctantly did it because he knew if he didn't do it, then I was going to harass him for months about doing it. So that is why this episode took place. My dad's story is very interesting. Obviously, he's the son of two immigrants from Beirut, Lebanon, and he is a real estate investor who was investing in real estate at the time of the 2008 collapse of the stock market. Am I right? I think I'm woefully ignorant about anything that doesn't involve my hobbies. I'm working on it. These are the facts right now. When the recession started in 2008, he got hit hard. We fell on tough times. But I will always give him credit. In the midst of our tough times, I never knew that we were in the midst of tough times, and I think that's just really good parenting, and I think it's just looking out for your children. So I think that was really awesome. But the one thing about my dad is that he's very hyperactive. Very hyperactive. His mind is always in 5 places at once. So it's pretty rare to have, a 30-minute uninterrupted conversation where his mind and his attention is largely just on the conversation, So, that was one part of the podcast that was really cool. And then also just hearing his experience navigating the recession, in the midst of full-blown panic and, rightfully so, pessimism mixed with optimism about the future. It was very interesting to hear about the steps that he took to navigate these tough times and ultimately end up in the place that he is now, which is, he's very successful now. I think last year he went to Turkey, Mexico, and somewhere else, so he's living lavishly and he deserves that. He went through absolute hell, both in a professional sense and in a personal sense. Alrighty. This is the Verbal Journal with Mr. Dan Garabedian. Enjoy. Testing. Word. To whom it may concern, this is the Verbal Journal, live from the downtown Spokane library. Shout out to taxpayer money, I guess. This is one of the major benefits. With you being being in real estate for so long, are you more aware than the average person of where taxpayer money goes?
That's an interesting question. So I pay a lot of property taxes, and I know that new schools are supported by property taxes. So when I see a school going up, I know that I put a lot of money into it.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you in particular pay a lot.
Of property taxes.
Yeah, how many properties do you have in total?
35 or 40.
And what is there like something of an equation of how much you pay in property taxes per square foot?
No, It goes by the value of the building. So it used to be, and I think it still is.
Just get a little closer to the mic.
So it used to be, and I think it still is, $14 per thousand. So if a building is valued at $100,000, taxes are $1,400 a year.
Okay.
That was a while ago. It may have changed, but that's what it used to be.
Are you less familiar with the new developments because you passed off a lot of your properties to property management?
I'm less familiar with everything because things are changing so fast, but
Right.
I'm probably pretty much stuck in like 2010. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when I was talking to Mark, the co-owner of Taco Vado, he was talking about how tough the regulation is in Spokane.
Yes.
In terms of...
Especially the city.
Right.
The city and the valley have very different politics, very different regulations, very different rules.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, according to him, on the top of the regulation, I mean, the first, no one ever reads this, but apparently, according to him, the first thing is like it has to better. If you're going to open a business, they want it to better the community.
This is in the city of Spokane?
Yeah, for Taco Vado, and apparently, it was really hard for them, even though what it was before it was Taco Vado was an abandoned pharmacy with 8 foot wide, 8 foot tall weeds in the back. So even then it's apparently it's just a lot harder because he's lived all over. He's lived in Austin, LA, and he said that it was just really difficult.
The city council in Spokane makes things challenging, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I want to take it back. What did you when you were a child, were you interested in you don't remember Sagewood?
Of course I do. What do you mean? I don't know.
Getting built.
Oh yeah.
For the first time?
I was 10 years old, yeah.
Oh, were you? And were you fascinated watching it being built? It wouldn't.
No, it didn't click until college.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what were your career aspirations as an adolescent?
A dentist.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I convinced my baby brother to do that instead.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Shout out Uncle Andrew.
Yep. He's a good one. He'd probably be better than me.
What, at being a dentist?
Yes.
So so how much do you remember? You were born in New Orleans in 1967.
Yes.
You don't remember any of that, right?
No. I barely remember Iowa.
Okay. And
we lived in a cul-de-sac.
I remember I asked Medzi about this. She wasn't sure. How long did you live in Iowa?
Maybe 2 years.
Okay, so that was
67, 69. Yeah, 2 years.
Okay.
We moved here in May of 71.
When you were 4. Oh.
I was born in 67.
Yeah.
We lived there. Carl was 6 months old when we left New Orleans, so.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, did any of your interests as a kid lead to what you do now, or not really?
What's a kid?
That's an interesting question. I would say, like, when do you really start to become sentient? Like 8? Like 8 to 12 to,
No.
Not really?
No, it didn't click until college.
And what sort of set that off?
Your grandpa wanted to buy a rental house for me and my buddies to party in, and we bought one together. I kind of worked on it, and I thought it was pretty fun.
Okay. And you were just interested in the whole process of
Yes.
it?
The whole process of remodeling it, renting it, collecting rents, all of that.
And how it can become like a long-term play to
Yes.
becoming wealthy.
Yes. So
Okay.
I did a similar thing with your sister in Bellingham, as you know.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And it worked out good.
2132 Birch Street,
Birch
Bellingham.
Circle.
Birch Circle. Hell of a place.
Nice place.
So when you went to UW, you majored in English. And was that just because, like, you were a kid and
Yes.
you kind of just wanted to party?
Yes.
But it wasn't for nothing. It definitely served you well because you're well spoken and you're good at writing letters because you had to do that a lot throughout your career, right?
Sure. If you're going to be an attorney, it's pretty useful.
Right, but my entire childhood, my grammar was being corrected, which ended up serving me really well.
Yeah.
Because people say I'm well spoken, so
There you go.
Is that how you feel? Do you feel like you yielded benefit from it, or do you think it was just a waste of time studying English?
It wasn't a total waste of time, but it was mostly a waste of time. I really wish I would have studied construction management. I think I would have been good at it.
And you think you would be in a different place now?
No, I think I'd be in exactly the same place, but maybe I would have been a little further ahead because I would have learned a few things that I had to learn the hard way, you know?
Right.
Instead of formally learning it.
Yeah. So you you had your first property your first property was Scott?
Yes.
Okay.
Took your sister home there as a baby. The tree's still in the front yard.
Yeah, you did. Oh, that's awesome. And what was during that time you were selling mortgages, right? I mean,
What was I doing then? No, I was building houses then.
Like doing manual labor?
No, I did some manual labor. Yes, I was doing manual labor. I was framing houses, doing that kind of stuff.
Okay. And
when I brought your sister home, I was doing manual labor.
And what was the reason for that? Just like get by, or you wanted to
get by, learn the construction business. I was going to build a house, and I wanted to learn it, so I did.
Okay. So at what point, obviously pre-2008, at what point did owning properties end up like, you're like, oh wow, I'm actually like making some money from this. This is cool. Did that even happen pre-2008?
There was a flash in the pan between 2002 and 2007 that was just smoke and mirrors profits, yeah.
Well, yeah. How did those come to be?
The mortgage industry let a lot of cash go in the market and falsely inflated values, which made everyone's values go up. But it was fake values. It was fake equity. Once that spigot shut off, it just collapsed back down to earth.
And as a property owner who
Yes.
owned rental properties,
Yes.
how did falsely inflated values help you increase your income during that time?
Because as values go up, you can borrow against the properties and pile on debt against the properties and buy other stuff or do whatever you want with the cash. So it's really loose credit.
But I guess I still don't understand how that results in income.
It's not income if you have a building that went from 100,000 to 200,000,
Right.
and you want to borrow another 75,000 against it, so now you owe 175. You can just take that and stick it in your pocket.
Oh, so you don't have to use it for
Right.
anything in particular.
Right. You just stick it in your pocket or
Is that
go
what you
party.
did?
There was some of that, and there was some go and buy some more property, and there was some go blow it on trips and whatever. So yeah, a little bit of everything.
Okay. Would you say the majority of it was reinvesting it into other properties?
I would say yes.
Okay.
There's a lot of houses that I built and developed during the fake boom.
Okay. And did you have any inkling that this was a bubble?
No. When you're at the party, you think it's going to go on forever.
Oh God. So yeah, you explained your time at, what was it, West First, or what was the place called where you sold mortgages?
Far West Mortgage?
Far West. You explained your time there as like extremely hilarious.
Yes.
And
Yes. It was a combination of Wolf of Wall Street and The Office combined.
oh yeah. Except no one was getting filthy rich, right?
Yeah, we did okay.
But it was, was everybody comfortable there? I guess it was really
We were
how
all
much-
young and stupid. We were just having fun.
And you were in your 30s?
Yeah, yes, early 30s.
Because when did you start working there? What year? Was it 2002?
No, it was the 90s.
Oh, okay. So you might have even been younger than...
I was probably 30 years old, something like that.
Oh, okay. And you had a coworker by the name of Rick Little.
Yes.
Who is an
Rick.
MMA coach. Coaches Michael Chiesa, Brady Heastand, Juliana Miller, formerly coached former UFC bantamweight champion Juliana Pena. And what was he like as a mortgage salesman?
Not very good.
Yeah.
No, he was more interested in talking to chicks and wrestling and talking about boxing and things like that. There was not a lot of work going on there.
Right.
The owner wanted to talk about snowmobiles and guns. Rick wanted to talk about boxing. And so trying to get a mortgage through is sometimes problematic.
I saw a picture of Rick when he was like in his 20s. He's a good looking guy.
Very good looking guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could see how he definitely got the ladies.
Mm-hmm. Half Korean, half American.
And were you amongst all your coworkers? Were you among the more hungry of them?
I was one of the few that was married at the time, so yes. And Taylor was born, so yes.
Okay. Taylor's my sister.
Yes.
Yeah, that's yeah, that makes sense. And everybody was around your age, or were there some people?
No, they were all a little bit younger than me. So I was in my early 30s, and they were in their late 20s.
Oh, okay. And was it fun?
It was really fun.
Was it?
Yeah, it was really fun.
And you've talked about in the past the concept of believing in what you're selling.
Yes.
Did you feel that way?
I would say I was pretty much on board with it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're putting people in houses. I mean, that seems
Putting
like such
people
a
in
good
houses,
thing.
giving people money.
Right.
People left happy. It was just when the music stopped and they started getting pissed off.
Yeah, my favorite comedian Tim Dillon had your same job around the same time, and he was 22 years old.
Right.
And
And there was no licensing requirements. There was no test. There was no nothing. You didn't have to know anything. You could just start filling out the papers and you're in.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I think, if I'm remembering correctly, Tim Dillon said that it all started with some sort of bill that basically encouraged people to be able to afford. They wanted people to be able to afford houses who couldn't afford them. It was like the Affordability Act, or
the Community Reinvestment Act, I think is what it was called.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think it was called that, and Bill Clinton signed that to encourage lending basically to people who couldn't qualify. So that was part of it, and Wall Street got in on it, and they started issuing mortgage-backed securities, flooded the market with cash, created all these fake companies with selling mortgages and all these rate sheets.
They created more companies to sell mortgages.
I mean, mortgage companies kind of sprung up like mushrooms.
Really?
To sell mortgages, yeah.
And they were funded by the government?
They were, I don't know exactly how it works, but there was lots of money to lend out, and companies formed to lend it out, and they got a huge fee, and that's it.
And at my old job,
Old job.
I'm not allowed to say the name of it.
Oh, okay.
But the downtown location of the place that I work in now.
What? Okay.
Yeah. So
yes, I know what you're talking
during
about.
December, it's like mayhem. And then
Sure.
and then January 1st, there's not a soul in the place.
Right.
Is that kind of how it was when the bottom fell out of the whole mortgage thing?
No. First, the lenders started getting tighter with the underwriting. They actually wanted to see that somebody could pay their bills. They actually wanted to see that somebody made money to pay it back. And because they were starting to default on all the loans.
Right.
And then, so first they tightened up regulations, then they shut down, and then we shut down.
Well, who's they?
The lenders, the banks, the mortgage companies. So there's the retail companies that we were the
Yeah.
street level, and then there was mortgage companies that were out there that we lend out their money. So as brokers, we didn't lend out our own money.
Right.
We just had banks and mortgage companies that we brokered loans to.
Okay. And
So think about 10
Yeah.
banks in front of you. As a broker, you can choose which one you want to lend to.
okay.
And a lot of it, unfortunately, was decided. We could decide who we lent to. So the one that was throwing us the best deal typically got the loan.
Okay. Did any banks go under during this time?
Yes. There was
Really?
one called Washington Mutual, which was one of the biggest lenders in the country. They're based in Seattle. And they were really, really aggressive and really, really greedy. And they shut down. And it was so after that, I went and worked for Snap
Right.
doing mortgage workouts. They sent me to Seattle for some training. We had a training in the Washington Mutual building, and it was the most eerie, weird feeling ever because the building was absolutely beautiful,
Right.
absolutely perfect, and everything was in place and everything was clean, and there was no one there.
That is so weird.
And I think it's
Oh
the
my
Chase
gosh.
building now, but it was there was a lot that just showed me how much money was floating around out there for this nonsense, and then just shut it down and be done.
So I never thought of it explicitly like this, but you were on both sides of it.
In what
You
way?
were selling the mortgages,
Yes.
and then you were helping people who were in financial ruins because of the mortgages.
Oh, well, I suppose. But I was also in on it because I was selling mortgages and I was also buying mortgages
Right.
to buy more fake houses.
So you like scammed yourself,
Yes,
sort of?
I did scam myself.
So once all of it crashed, and first of all, I wanted to ask this explicitly. You know, maybe you're comfortable answering this, maybe you're not. But what was the change in your income from 2007, 2008 to 2010? What was the change in that?
I probably topped out at maybe 300,000 or 400,000 in 2006. Probably 400,000.
Huh.
And it was pretty much zero for 3 or 4 years.
So from 2009 to 2013 or 2008 to 2000?
2008 to 2011 or 12, it was basically zero. Living off savings or selling things.
So what? What did you sell?
Properties, stocks, other assets that I had.
And did you have any friends that also were big investors who also were in a similar situation as you were?
No one had as much real estate as I did, but all the mortgage guys got out of it, started doing different things, goofy, weird things. We didn't have any other skills, so
Right.
everyone started doing strange jobs and.
But you had other skills, right? Because you were actually, you were a landlord.
Yes, but it was not a profitable industry then. It was,
Right.
yeah. So
So were you feeling like everything that you had done for the last?
yes, I thought it was a big fat waste of time.
So given that that's the case, you were encouraged to sell all of your properties, which thankfully you didn't,
Right?
because you're doing great now.
Right.
But why didn't you?
Because I made a decision. I was either going to go all in and try to save them all, or just let them all go at once and just save my cash. And I made a decision to just hang on, try to save them all, and wait for the market to turn. And I waited and waited and waited and waited. And it took a long time. And I was pretty much flat, broke, and out of cash when it did finally turn.
Oh yeah.
There was nothing left. What are you doing?
I think you'll find this interesting because you pay so many taxes, and the reason why I have to get up and press re-record on my camera every 20 minutes is because the camera manufacturers, if they allow their cameras to record for an unlimited amount of time, then technically it's a movie camera.
Oh.
And then the camera companies are hit with way more taxes.
So you know what that's all from, don't you?
No.
That's from lobbying.
Really?
Yes. Somebody's lobbied a government entity. Somebody's lobbied a government entity to create that
you can
rule.
also pull it towards you.
I can hear myself fine, but somebody has lobbied a government entity to protect their industry or let their industry grow, and that's why it's happened.
Interesting.
Whenever you see quirky little weird things like that, it's because they've passed some law and some lobbyist has got something through that has been really lucrative for them.
It's a pain in the ass. Oh my God. It's so annoying.
But that's all through industries. It's all through everything. The CO detector lobby, the people that sell CO detectors make us put them in apartments, even though there is no source of CO in the apartments.
Really?
Yeah, CO comes from gas,
Yeah.
natural gas, and all the apartments have electric heat, and we're still required to put them in there.
So did they pay off the regulators?
No,
or?
they lobbied the state legislature, give them a bunch of money. They passed the law. We got to spend the money and put them in.
So it's a bribery of sorts.
It's totally a bribery.
Oh my God.
There's endless examples of that.
So Yeah, because I mean, I remember you as a person who kind of refused to sell any properties, but
Yes.
you did. You did sell some properties,
I've sold a few here and there.
or during when you were trying to save your ass.
Uh, Very few. I did sell some land and a couple other little things just to help cash flow, but very few. And
Yeah,
I actually ended up buying some too.
really?
Yeah.
Why?
Deals I couldn't pass up. I convinced some lenders to give me some money. Just different situations. You know that house we have on Cataldo?
Oh yeah.
That was bought at the absolute bottom for $37,000.
Can you disclose what the value is now?
Maybe 3 to 350.
That's amazing.
It was not easy.
Right. I mean, like how much did that weigh on you? I looked at, from seeing pictures, you gained a lot of grays in 6 years. What are the feelings waking up every single day? I mean, it's not just that you like lost all your money. I mean, it's like
You're just kind of in survival mode. You are just trying to,
as a single dad,
as a
with 2
single
kids,
dad, yes,
just got divorced.
yep, just
Yeah.
surviving, figuring out ways to make it to the next month and the next payday. I developed this trick where a mortgage becomes late after 30 days.
Right.
So on the 29th day, I would show up. No, on the 30th day, I would show up at the Bank of America on 29th, and make the payment. And on the first, rents would come in, and I would make the payment that I made on the 30th with the rents from the first. And I probably did that for 3 years.
What?
Yes.
Oh my god.
And I paid all these late fees, but I never had any slow pays on my credit. So
Oh my god, dude.
yeah,
That is absolutely insane.
yeah,
And one thing that I'm thinking about, because as I'm like dating and stuff, women want to know that you're like going somewhere.
yes,
Because you dated some quality women.
right.
So like, what did you say? Like when they're like, what do you do for work? And then you said, I'm in real estate. Were they like, oh my god, what, now?
Yeah, they're very unimpressed. Yeah.
But like after getting to know you, were they like, okay, this guy's like,
No,
he's got it dialed in.
No. Everyone thought I was nuts.
Right.
Nobody was retaining property. There were so many foreclosures. Everyone gave property back. Everyone was being short-sighted. Didn't think it was ever going to turn around.
Yeah.
And I was convinced it was.
What? Just because? Was it like due to stubbornness? Like
Stubbornness, but also history repeats itself.
right.
So the worst crash in the history of the world was the Great Depression, and even that came back. So
Right. What? How do you compare the 2008 crash to the 1929 crash?
there was nothing. I mean, the 1929 crash was terrible. There was no government backstop. There's no government stops, so
Right.
people were starving, and at least the feds could feed people back in 2010. So
Right.
there was no people starving in the streets.
What? And because obviously you're my dad, so I only really know how the recession affected people who owned real estate,
Right.
really. But like, what were the other industries?
So if you were a teacher, worked for the city, you worked for the county, the feds, you didn't really get affected.
Really?
Not really.
Okay.
No. They really didn't cut back anything, and they did fine. If you were in sales, you owned a business,
Restaurants?
anything with disposable income, you starved. There was absolutely nothing going on. Sales were very tough. The whole world was on sale, so it was a great time to have cash. But nobody had any cash. You could make any sort of deal you wanted to. It was pretty sweet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense why you got Cataldo for 30,000,
Right.
given all the foreclosures.
Yes.
And you didn't foreclose on any of your properties?
What do you mean?
You didn't have to give them up to the
No.
bank because
No.
that's crazy.
No, and they worked with me because we just had meetings that said, you don't want the stuff back and I don't want to give it to you, so let's get on the same page. Let's work together.
Yeah.
And everyone else was giving them back except for me, so they were nice to me.
Oh, because really, they don't want them back.
They absolutely don't want them back.
But do they like sort of play a game?
Oh, they huff and they puff and they pretend like they're going to take it away, but they're not going to take it away.
And did your perspective on that, was that formed during your time as a mortgage salesman? Like, how did you know that they didn't want him back? I'm sure.
Common sense.
Okay.
Common
I'm sure.
sense. Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of people were like, "Oh my god!" I'm sure a lot of people thought they were serious.
Yeah, banks were going broke left and right too.
Right.
And it was all the game. Everyone was playing the game, you know. They lend us money. We go out, we build stuff, we develop it. Now they're getting it back. They have all this property they're not supposed to have. The feds start cracking their heads. You're not supposed to have all this property. Da da da.
And then all of a sudden the banks have assets.
It's called REOs, real estate owned, and they're really not supposed to have that.
But in that situation, they have the undesirable nature of the situation is that they have assets that are decreasing in value,
right?
And that they're not getting any money for, right?
Right. So they were, if you had cash then, I know so many deals where people bought them for pennies on the dollar. Mm-hmm. And there's a development out in Spokane Valley. I think it's called Elk Ridge. And it all went back to...
Oh, yeah.
It's off of Pines, I think. South Pines.
Yeah.
And I think that the whole thing went back to Sterling Savings. And the developer that bought it afterwards made a fortune.
Oh, yeah.
Same with Kendall Yards. Kendall Yards went back to the lenders.
Oh.
It went back to Washington Trust here locally. And Greenstone picked it up for nothing. So if you were liquid then, you could get some deals.
Did you know anybody in the landlord real estate world who did have a lot of money then and they just cashed in?
I knew of those people, but I didn't
Right.
know them personally. All my friends were poor.
Oh.
We were all poor. So
Did that make it?
People like Walt Worthy, Greenstone, those guys were liquid, and they were the one that picked up stuff for nothing.
Man. Yeah, it's just fascinating to me because I remember someone I know, someone very close to me, I'll cut that out. Well, I remember his mom telling him, it's like, we're poor. And then Danny, like, we're like 9 years old and we have no idea what that means. So he's thinking in his mind, he's like, so does that mean we're going to die? Like, what is it? Like, what does it mean to be poor? You know? But I never really felt that. We had food. We even went on vacations. We patched together a vacation to Seattle.
Yes.
We went to a Seahawks game and a Sounders game.
Yes.
And I think we ended in Sandpoint.
Yes. We skied in Sandpoint. All of that was low budget stuff, but yes, that's right.
Right, just driving there.
Driving there, staying at friends' houses, getting tickets from Nick Sitch for football.
Right. Was he a season ticket holder?
He wasn't, but his company was.
Oh, okay. And what did he do back then?
He does the same thing he does now. He sold building materials. And that's another one that really suffered. There was nothing going on.
Sure.
So he made nothing.
Nothing's getting built.
Yeah.
Is that a commission job?
Yes.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Sales and businesses, because those both involve the necessity of
money moving.
People spending money.
Right.
Man.
And everybody's just holding on to every dollar they have because they think it might be the last one they ever have.
And what did the government do to try to incentivize people to spend money?
They kind of like COVID, they just flooded the market with cash.
With grants or subsidies?
Obama was president and what did they do? They put cash out in the marketplace. They created jobs. They did busy work, things like that.
Like
priming
building some city buildings or something.
Yep. You look at that, government spending went way up during the recession. And that's what got us out of the Great Depression was federal spending, getting ready for World War II. The Fed started spending money and got us out of the Great Depression.
But in doing that, the country just takes on more debt and then...
It does, but when the economy starts to grow again, then it's okay.
Makes it back?
Right.
But how do they get that money?
They just create it. They just print it.
That's crazy.
Right.
That's wild. I mean, that can definitely be an evil. I think that's what we're facing now.
Well, it's called fiat currency.
Is that an acronym?
I don't know.
Okay. So in the midst of this living hell,
yes,
before it actually turned around, was there any glimmers of hope where you're like, okay, I think this is going to turn around in the next couple of years, or was it just happened all at once?
You could definitely feel in the spring of 2013 it had definitely bounced off the bottom. You just knew that foreclosures started slowing down, value started flattening out, people started buying again. So between 8 and 12, there was just fear. 13, there was growth.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't know about any of that as a kid.
Right.
Because one of the most formative memories I have is watching the UEFA Champions League final in 2012. And there was nothing bad about that time at all. I lived right next to school, hung out with Darren Blockman every day.
Is that when we lived on Thurston?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was a nice house.
It was a
We
nice
rented
house.
that place for $900 a month.
What?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
And that included utilities.
What? Was that like an insane deal at the time?
It was a pretty good deal. It wasn't an insane deal, but it was good.
Wow.
You don't even get a room for $900. That was a nice place too.
I paid $920 a month.
Yeah.
Plus
for a room.
utilities.
Right. So you could have that whole place.
That's crazy. And how did you? Yeah. So we went from. So now I want to go through. We lived at Hogan, which was an incredible house, especially when we bought it. We bought it in 2007? 2005, so I was 6 years old. That's weird. And when was it built? In the 60s? Okay, so it was like only 40 years old by that time. Okay, and when you bought it, was it in really good condition?
It needed to be remodeled.
But you didn't?
The plan was to move into it and remodel it and then live there forever.
Okay. And you sold it in 2000...
I still have it. We still have it.
Or I mean, sorry, we moved out.
2009.
2009. Okay, so you tried to stay there after the recession started.
Well, again, I just decided I was going to try to keep it. I wasn't just going to let it go. So I found a tenant for it, for the group homes, and they moved in and they started running a group home out of it.
What was the tipping point where you're like, we really have to rent this place out? We can't.
Just trying to slow down the hemorrhaging of cash, you know?
Right.
We had the ski condo. I rented that out. We had Hogan. I rented that out. We sold cars.
Did we?
Yeah. We remember the Mercedes wagon?
Yeah.
We drove a truck for a long time. I got the job at Snap, just whatever it could take to preserve cash and make it as long as we could.
Right.
Before we start giving stuff back.
Yeah. Man. And that job at Snap, was that one of those?
It was one of those Obama jobs. It was just created.
It was created.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So were you just looking online and you saw that and you were like,
I think so. I think it was one of the few jobs that were for mortgage people. So if nobody's hiring mortgage people because there's nobody getting mortgages, nobody qualified. So this was people getting mortgage workouts.
Okay.
Me helping people get mortgage workouts.
Huh. Okay. And because so the income that you made from Snap, was that negated by losing money through your real estate?
Yes, but I was losing less then.
So like in terms of just your real estate, you were in the negative.
Yes.
In those years.
Absolutely. It was probably $15,000 a month we were losing.
You were losing $180,000 a year?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then every year I cut it down. Then it got to zero. Then it got to positive.
Oh my God. So from that rock bottom of negative 180 a year, when did you get to zero? Was it
2013?
So from 2008 to 2013?
Yeah.
It took 5 years. Oh my God, dude. That's wild. Is that why you take so many vacations now? Because you just finally, I mean, you went to Turkey and Mexico this year.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, were you just finally like, I can do this now? Like I'm finally in a place where I can enjoy myself. So I'm going to do it.
I've just learned a lot and looked back at what happened, and I'm more confident that what is going on now is real. So the demand is real now.
Yeah.
Because they didn't build any houses for 10 years. From 2008 to 2018, they really didn't build any houses, but the country kept growing. So when they ran out of houses, it just exploded. And rents started really going up and that kind of thing. So they have still never really caught up on the housing shortage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's all sorts of apartment buildings being
Yes.
built all around Spokane, which, it kind of makes some neighborhoods look worse a little
Yes.
bit. What was the biggest lesson that you learned? Was there anything that you did wrong that would have made your situation better when the economy crashed? Or
Oh,
not really?
not really. You can always look back and say you should have been more liquid, had more cash in the bank. But
So do you think you tried to expand too quickly?
of course, yeah, everyone got greedy then. Everyone got greedy. When you have values going up that fast, everyone gets greedy.
Right.
Lenders get greedy, developers get greedy, banks get greedy. Everybody got greedy.
So the movie, The Big Short, are
Yes.
you into that movie? Have you seen it?
It's been a long time.
Because there's that scene where they're in a diner and then they're talking about how the economy is going to crash, and then the waiter says that she's just a waiter at a diner. She said she owned 5 houses, and they look at each other. The mortgage brokers look at each other and they're like, "What?" And yeah, that's one of the memories from the movie that sticks with me the most.
Sure. And people like that. So there was all these like fake investors, and they didn't know what they're doing. And I didn't really know what I was doing, but I knew more than them. So all those people like waiters and waitresses and servers who got into real estate, they just were very short-sighted and just gave everything back because they didn't have any experience or vision or anything like that. So I think I had more knowledge than most investors at that time, and that's why I decided to keep them.
Well, and why did you have more knowledge? Was that just because you
Maybe
looked into it?
No, because I had been doing it since college, and I'm a good study of history, and everyone was a little bit short-sighted. They're just like, no, this will never get better, and we're all going to be living in caves soon, and I didn't believe that was going to happen.
Okay. I mean, were you ever focused on like flashy things like clothes and cars and things like that?
I like nice things.
But did you back then when you were in your late 30s, 40s? And if so, did you just have to, was it a situation where you just had to be like, all right, we no more spending anything that.
Oh, yeah. We did a lot of thrifting back then.
Yeah, and I never internalized it that way either.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before thrifting was cool, we were thrifting.
Right. Yeah, because there was a point in time where all of a sudden, like over time, your style got like way better. There was like a point where you were wearing like jeans with like holes in it with like some Converse that you also used to haul garbage.
I've been to the dump a lot.
Right.
I have been to the dump more than anybody in this town.
And that was a part of saving everything, right?
Right.
You just had to, no more employees.
No more employees. No more paying for dump runs.
Right.
No more paying for property managers. I don't have any carpentry skills, but I can break things and go to the dump. So I was in charge of demo and garbage and ripping stuff up.
And you had shoulder surgery and you got 2 knee replacements. How much can you attribute that to the demo and how much to the Gulasarian genes?
That's a really good question. I'll say 50-50 because I don't know anything about it, but my right shoulder is totally gone, and that's my dominant shoulder from shoveling and garbaging and hauling and tearing things down.
That was the one that you got surgery on, right?
No, this is the one I had surgery on.
Okay.
This one I can only... Right.
Wait, but why haven't you gotten surgery on that one?
How many major joints do you want to replace in your body,
Right. It was traumatic.
It's pretty horrible.
Yeah. And the partial knee replacement was more painful, right?
I wouldn't say so, no. The full knee replacement was more painful.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Damn. God, I hope I never have to go through that.
I don't think you will. Maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. I'm a psychology major. So I think about the emotional and the social implications of every single situation.
Okay.
And it wasn't just that your business that you'd worked so hard to build was crashing down. You also had to look after 2 very young kids, my sister and I, and you were just going through a divorce. I mean, like, what were you basically just in a perpetual state of incredible stress?
Panic, yeah.
Panic.
Well, after 2005, it became panic. When you didn't have any financial stress, which was prior to 2007, that was a big part of it. Once I threw that on top of it, it became very, very stressful.
Right. And was it, I mean, you've never been a big drinker. I've never seen you drunk in my whole life.
You haven't?
No?
You have to come around more.
No, I mean, I've seen I've seen a lot of parents of people I know just like absolutely hammered. I've
Oh.
never seen you like that. During that time, were you like, I mean, how did you cope with this? Did you just start drinking a little bit more?
Maybe a little bit more, yeah.
Yeah.
Worked out quite a bit.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I would go to Stay Fit, was what it was called. And
Oh, what was that?
was it Stay Fit? I don't know.
Was it Move?
Yes.
Oh, so it was Stay Fit and
I
then
don't know.
Oz and then Move?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Clubs, I don't know.
What was the motivation? Was it an anti-stress
Yes,
thing?
it felt really, really good.
Oh,
To
okay.
go, they had a Stairmaster that I got real comfortable with, and you could blow off a lot of steam there, and it felt really good.
Okay. Because I remember you told me you went to the doctor and you were like 210 pounds, and the doctor was like, he said something about like being around for your kids or something.
Right.
So was it that and like that? It was,
Yeah, there was only an upside to going to the gym. It was cheap entertainment. It was good for me. It helped my health, everything. So
Was it cheap? Because now it's like,
it was cheap. It was $30, $40 a month.
right. And then Taylor and I did swim team.
You guys did swim team there. We did yoga there. We did Stairmaster there. It was great. And I still skied too. Ski passes were cheap. $300 a year at Mount Spokane.
And then you joined the Flying Irish Running Club.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much, were you having significant pain? And then you just kept going? And then you're like, oh, my knees are done.
I quit running in 2009 or 2010.
Right.
I couldn't run after that. I used to run before work. And
Yeah. And ride your bike to work too.
Yep.
So were those like little moments of relief where you could just do that and
Yeah.
maybe for a second you weren't
You know, you work out, so you know what the euphoric feeling is when you work out.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, and for a second like things don't exist.
Right.
But like given the real life implications of your situation, was it actually like that to where you felt like those problems didn't exist for like an hour?
Right. Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
When you work out so hard that you can't breathe, yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
I remember talking to you about this before. When both of my uncles, your brothers, we have a cardiologist and a dentist. They always say comparison is a thief of joy. Mm-hmm. Was that the case for you? Did that add to the stress?
No. And I was never jealous of them at all.
Really?
Never once.
Interesting. Why not?
I don't know. It's not part of my personality trait.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you don't really care about being bald. You told me that.
I don't.
you said if you could take a pill to regrow your hair, you wouldn't.
Why? It's expensive to get haircuts.
Yeah, I know it is $50. So when you're like struggling financially, and then Taylor and I really want to do sports, it's like, what do you like? Are you just like, well,
What's my one-liner, Patrick? Don't you remember?
what? Did you have fun?
No.
Or what?
I just make it happen.
Make it happen.
Right.
What? Because you just thought you played sports as a kid, so
Right.
you just knew how important it was.
Right. Of course.
Right.
So I just made it happen. I just figured something out.
Yeah, I remember the last soccer team I played on. It was $1,500 as registration.
What year was that?
2017-18.
Well, then it wasn't that bad then.
Right, but that's still expensive.
But I could come up with $1,500 in 2018.
Yeah, and then Taylor played for River City, and that was an expensive team. So like, what was something that you would do to like come up with the money? Like,
Just borrow it, find it, make it, do it. Just make it happen.
right? But what does that mean to make it happen? Borrowing it makes sense. You get it from the bank,
Right?
And I remember you said, because we went to Mexico a few times. Unbeknownst to me, we weren't doing well financially, but you said you borrowed the money. Is that just because you had such a good reputation with the bank?
To borrow the money? No. What do you think a credit card is?
Right. Yeah.
A credit card is a loan.
Oh, so did you just use your credit card to go to when we went to Mexico and stuff?
I don't remember the exact details, but
Oh, okay.
You just make things happen when you want them to happen. You just get on the phone and figure out a way to do it.
Right. But did you go as far as like Craigslist ad? I need someone to help me like dig some holes, or did you ever do anything like that?
No.
Okay.
No.
So what were some of the avenues you'd go to then?
So I got the job. I worked at Snap.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so much making money as it was cutting expenses.
Okay.
And the other thing was a lot of our loans were on adjustable rate mortgages, and rates went down.
Oh, to encourage spending?
Yeah, basically that's basically right. Yeah. So when rates went down, payments went down, that helped. Just different things, just little chipping away, doing everything myself, buying materials that were used, finding a piece of carpet to stick in there for nothing, whatever you could do.
That's interesting.
It's just desperation. You figure things out.
Right. Well, the one thing that comes to mind when you're saying this, going back to what we were talking about earlier, if you're so far in the negative, but you're just like, screw it, like we need to get out of town, or like we need to go on a vacation. Like, how are you moving money around to make it happen?
Maybe I have collected rents for the month, and I'm just going to pay the mortgage payment at the end of the month so we can go do this. So do that trick I told you where we would just pay the mortgage payment the last day of the month and then collect the rents from the next month.
Right.
Maybe I did that trick. I don't know.
You inherited that thing that Medzi and Papa have, where like
survival.
Yeah, where like Medzi and Pop, or like or especially Papa would like pull those 90-hour work weeks at the hospital. Mm-hmm. You and Uncle Andrew and Uncle Carl, you all inherited that, and then you created easy times for us. Easy times create soft men. So like I'm trying to find that within myself, and it's good to hear stories like this,
Right.
Because everybody's always interested in a success story at the end of it,
right?
But finding it, like arriving there, the journey to arriving there is it's a lot more complicated, And
everybody's story is different too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and how do you like? Did it cross your mind, like, what were you going to do if you're like, maybe I will sell all the properties and I'll do this? Did you think about what you might do instead?
No. Well,
career-wise?
No. It was going to go like this. I was going to run out of money. I was going to lose them all. And then I was going to start over wiser and just start buying one at a time. So I was just going to do the same thing again. It's the only thing I know.
Right. Yeah, it is your niche, your personality.
Mm-hmm.
You have this mechanism in you where you can be self-employed, and it totally works for you.
And motivated, self-motivated, right?
Right. And for me, that structure is everything. Being given structure.
Right.
Yeah, that's huge. Well, I appreciate you coming on the Verbal Journal.
It's been a real joy here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What's your opinion on me having a podcast?
It's cool. It's a good hobby. I think you're talented at it, and I like it. Who are you gonna do next? Your mother?
I don't think she'd be. I don't think Mom would be down for that.
No.
I don't know.
I didn't think there'd be an option for me to say no. You wouldn't drop it, I would think.
Oh no. Yeah, you couldn't have said no.
I know.
Yeah, there's no way. I think I want to interview David, a PQ nurse, who volunteers at Beats and Rhythms.
Oh, that sounds very nice.
Military veteran.
Very nice.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Verbal Journal with Dan Garabedian. We're out.